Well, as always, I don't have a script. I've given it a little bit of thought of what I've got to say, and I'm just going to blunder through it and let you make sense of it if there's any sense to be made. Okay, I'm about, what's today, Sunday? I am 5 days away from flying to the Philippines. And got a really good price over. I bought a one-way ticket and then an outward leg to Hong Kong. That's when I thought, well, maybe I'll just stay. And so, after a lot of thought, I thought, well, you know what? I've got one person back here in the States that I love so much, and I'm an influence on her life, and I don't think I can leave her like that. I can send her to Christian school, and I can take her to church, and I can teach her scriptures in person and love her and talk to her and be a positive influence on her. And whatever difficulty that may be, well, it's worth it. It sure is. I've always been a romantic. I'm the climb the highest mountain, swim the deepest sea kind of guy, I guess. It's been very costly throughout my life. But sometimes you just got to do the right thing. So I guess what I'm saying is I'm going to the Philippines, but I'm coming back. I'm going to go spend some time with somebody that I like very much and that I care for, and I want to get to know her better and see where that goes and see how that works out. So I'm going to enjoy a vacation. I'm going to enjoy my time getting to know her. I'm going to continue with the YouTube channel and spend time talking to people and pointing them to the Seventh-day Adventist Church. The last days the Bible speaks of a church that in the last days it tells the church that has the testimony of Jesus Christ and keeps the commandments. And that's the church that spreads the message that God would have told in these last days, and that's the Seventh-day Adventist Church. There's not another church on the face of this earth that makes that claim or that does that both keeps the commandments and has the testimony of Jesus Christ. And so there's a lot of things that point in that direction. That's for another time, another discussion. But so I point the way. Little bitty me. Nobody special. I am not anybody special. I'm a welder. I'm a fitter. I'm retired for the most part. And that's what I'm trying to do. Once you're saved, there's a work to do. And pointing the way to salvation is that work. And if you're not going to do that, why are you still here? So I'm going to get busy doing that. Been trying to do it. I'm learning. I'm 65 years old and I'm still learning and will be the whole time. If I live throughout eternity, I'll still be learning. I'll be surprised. God has things for us. He said, neither eye has seen or entered into the mind of man what God has in store for him. We'll be learning things throughout all of eternity. He's got hidden things for us to learn and see and grow. Always. We'll never be bored. We'll be glad we went there. But we need to belong to Jesus. Literally belong to Jesus. And the Bible tells us this: to whom ye serve is to whom ye belong. So serve God. How can I do that? Spread the word. Point the way to Jesus. Tell people about salvation. Invite them to church. And Paul said, forsake not the assembling of yourselves together. In other words, go to church. And so I've said a lot. Didn't say a lot. I did say a lot. And that's kind of what I'm going to be doing. And I wanted to talk about this trip to the Philippines a little bit more. I had intended to spend my retirement years there so that I could actually be free to not work and just draw Social Security and live quite well and do an evangelical type work. Bring people into the churches. And I've given it some thought. You know, the Bible also speaks of a financial collapse in the last days. We're in those last days. There's a lot of reasons. Jesus gave us some things to look for. And he said, when you see these things, look up, for your redemption draweth nigh. It's even at the door. It's right on you. That's my way of saying it. It's right on you. And all these things are taking place. We haven't had the financial collapse yet, but the undoing of the dollar has already started in a big way. We're about to go into a digital currency. I don't know if it'll be a catastrophic event or if something will be done on purpose to bring it into place. I know people don't want digital currency. For the most part, people don't. Everybody I've spoken to want to keep cash. They're trying their best to do away with that. Well, they're going to do it. And the Bible says there'll be a financial collapse. And there's going to be some time left on the other side of that. This is not a doomsday message. We've got a lot to look forward to. It's doomsday to those who don't want to be saved, who'd rather go take another hit, and put God on hold and continue to do that to the last second. People that don't want to turn to God for whatever selfish reason they've got. They enjoy this world a little too much. I look forward to what God has in store in the future. He makes promises and he tells us, hold on. He says, don't be afraid, fear not. He said it many, many times. But he says, hold on. And it's going to be difficult. It's going to be a rough ride. You're going to hit some big bumps. In the very last of the last days, it's going to be rough. But God will protect you. If you belong to him, you belong to him. You belong to the King and the Creator. So, here's my point, and I keep kind of veering off a little bit. That move that I was going to make as a permanent move, it's not going to make any difference. When the dollar's done away with and there needs to be a restoration of money, there will probably almost absolutely going to have to be a one world currency. When there is a worldwide financial collapse that the Bible speaks of, there will be a one world currency. So, that being the case, all money will be equal all over the world. And if I've got a certain amount coming through Social Security, and I can live well off of it now, when this collapse comes, and I think it's going to be very soon, when this collapse comes and the change is made and another type of currency or digital currency comes into being, that'll all be worth the same no matter where you're at. So what is to my advantage now will suddenly put me back on a level playing field, and I'll just have $1,500 a month coming in. It won't be to that much advantage at all. It won't be to any advantage no matter where on earth I'm at. So then I will most likely be stuck in a Southeast Asian third world country with a little bit of money coming in, if that system even still exists. I may be on my own eating bananas and iguanas in the jungles and mountains of of the Philippines if I'm not careful. So, yeah, I'm thinking I'm coming back for sure. And I'm thinking it's not such a wise idea for anybody anymore. There's a lot of people wanting to move to the Philippines. And the truth is, financial gain or not, I can't leave Bella. It's just the way it is. If you watch the message to Bella shorts that I put out, you'll know I love her to death, and she's number one priority. I'm coming back. So I've got about a 3-month vacation ahead of me, is what it's going to amount to. And we'll see what God has in store. What He wants, I'm going to do. It would break my heart not to be near her and see her safe and grow up and know that at least I'm teaching her about Jesus, and I'm taking her to church where she can be around other Christians and learn how to live a Christian lifestyle. Make that choice when it's time to choose what's right and not what's wrong. There's a lot more to it, but that's simply put. So I guess the main thing I'm trying to say is for everybody that's interested, there's a whole lot of older people that want to retire in the Philippines. And what I'm saying is it's not going to be a very popular thing to hear. It's not going to be very popular when it happens either. The financial advantage that you would have by moving there and living high on the hog, high on the hill, it's not going to exist too much longer. And like I said, it's not going to be a popular message. It's not going to be well taken. I think it's very true. I'm not trying to be the bearer of bad news. I'm trying to tell the truth like I see it. Might want to put some thought into it. You wind up stuck in a place if you don't have survival skills. And what I should have said first is if you're not right with God. If you're not right with God and you don't have, and you do have survival skills, it doesn't matter. If God's not on your side, you're in trouble. You don't belong to God, and you might want to think about serving God. To whom ye serve is to whom ye belong. If you belong to God, you belong to the highest possible power. And He spoke the sun into existence. He created everything that you see around you. And He can protect you. And He's wise, and He'll make all the wise decisions. You just need to stay in touch with Him. Choose Him. So, keep that in mind, and you might want to consider digging in where you're at. I personally don't see a bit of problem having a few extra cans of bush beans and green beans and whatever else you like. Soup's a good idea. A lot of soup. You won't get fat and sassy on soup, I tell you. I've been eating it, living off of cans of soup now for about the last 3.5, 4 months maybe. And I've lost a lot of weight. I have no belly whatsoever anymore. I'm looking rather slim and trim. For my age, I see everybody around me's got a big gut. And I don't. I've seen one or two older guys that don't, but for the most part, we're just getting kind of fat. And I've lost all that extra fat, but I'm fine. I'm not skinny and underfed. I just, my body gets the nourishment that it needs without overdoing it. Eliminated a lot of meat out of my diet, and it's mostly vegetables and the soup, the potluck, and a little bit of meat. So anyway, just throwing these ideas out there, and most likely, unless God has something in mind different, probably we'll come back here, dig in for the long haul, and do what's right concerning Bella. Take her to school, pick her up from school, pay for that schooling, whatever I have to do that. And I've already actually made provisions for that. A very inexpensive place to stay, and it leaves me money left over. And if I have to work night or piece up part-time jobs or whatever I have to do, I intend to do this. I also would like to have a wife. And I'm going to go meet this lovely young lady. She lives south of Manila. And I'm going to go spend time around her. We're going to go to different churches, and we'll do evangelical type work. We'll invite people into the church and interview them on my YouTube channel. You'll get to see all that. You follow the channel, like and subscribe, and it'll sure help me out a lot. So you actually can do some work as far as spreading the word, and all you got to do is hit like and subscribe and share. And so that's about all I've got this week. Like I said, I've got 5 more days, not even 5 whole days, and I'll be flying. So I'll do bits and pieces and shorts and messages between now and the time I land. And when I land, it's going to be a whole nother program. I believe it will. I've got some ideas. I'm going to try them out. So tune in and try to share with other people, and maybe they'll tune in and see something that's helpful in some way. So those are my ideas, and that's today's message. Ran a little long, so I guess I'm out. Today is Sunday, I believe it's the 23rd of April. I think so. I'm not sure what day it is. Sunday the 23rd, I believe, 2023.